Hi, happy Nursing Week. I'm Christa with Wellbeing Yoga, and I'm so thrilled and honored that you asked me to be here with you during Nursing Week. It's such an important week to honor the work that you do for Newfoundland and Labrador, all our people when we're sick and unwell and in our major times of need. I know for myself and my family, nurses have always been the glue that hold the healthcare system together. You all work so hard with so little so often, and I just want to say a heartfelt thank you. I also want you to take a moment before we begin to thank yourselves for showing up for yourselves. Gandhi has a quote that it's in service to others that we find ourselves. But sometimes it's in that service to others that we can lose ourselves, forget to fill our own cup, forget to put our own oxygen masks on first. So I just want you to take a moment here to thank yourself for showing up for you, for taking this time for you, because you deserve it more than anybody. You truly do. So we're gonna take a seat on our mat. You can see I'm sitting just propped up on a bolster, but if you just have a couple of throw cushions or even just the pillows off your bed, those will do just fine. It's always nice to get the hips a little bit up off the floor, which lowers the knees and allows the hips to open. We carry a lot of tension here in these hips. Our practice today is really going to focus on some key areas that as nurses, whether you're in a clinical environment on your feet, you're at a desk, or you're out in the field running from one thing to the next, certain areas will tend to hold tension, such as our neck and shoulders, as well as our hips and low back. So we're really going to focus on those areas today. Our practice today is for all levels, all abilities, all ages, all shapes, all sizes. If there is anything that you're just not feeling in your body, whether you're just not feeling it or maybe you have an injury, feel free to lay in Shavasana or Child's Pose, or just find something that works for you, just sitting with your eyes closed and maybe taking a few deep breaths. It's your practice. I'm just here to guide. Take what serves you and leave what doesn't. So we're going to start the practice in a cross-legged seated position if that feels comfortable for you. You can also have the legs extended, or if being down on the floor cross-legged doesn't feel comfortable for you, you can always sit in a chair. If it feels good for you here, we're going to close down the eyes. And we're just going to take a moment here to notice our breath without changing it or judging it. Just take a moment to notice. Notice, are you breathing through your nose or through your mouth? How deep does your breath go? Is it in the chest, the ribs, or perhaps the belly? What is the quality of the breath? Is it shallow, sharp, long, short? There's no right or wrong, there just is. Take a moment here to notice your breath and just breathe. We'll begin now to change the breath slightly. We'll move to breathing in through the nose and out through the nose with a nice long inhale, and we'll work on extending and elongating the exhale. You can place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on the belly. And as we inhale, allow the chest to rise, ribs, breath down into the belly. And as we exhale, let the belly fall, ribs, chest. So we'll inhale, chest, ribs, belly, and exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Inhale, And exhale. Take a nice big inhale. On this next one, can you sigh it out? Let it go. Inhale. And as we exhale, sigh it out. Keeping the eyes closed. If they are closed, you can allow the hands to come back to the thighs. As you inhale this time, bring the shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze them tight. And as you exhale, roll them back and down. So we're just rotating the shoulders here. As we inhale, we bring them up to the ears. As we exhale, we allow the shoulders to come down the back. So as we inhale, they come up to the ears. As we exhale, think about bringing the shoulder blades together. The arms might even start to be part of this movement here now, making the movement just a little bit bigger. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears, round them back and down. Allow the chest to open up. Inhale. And exhale. We'll take 2 more of these. And 1 more. Inhale. And release. Take a moment here now with your eyes closed and think about an intention for your week as you celebrate, and we celebrate your Nurses Week. For all your registered nurses and nurse practitioners, what is your intention for this week? Is it to maybe give thanks to yourself for all the work that you do? Is it to show yourself some kindness, some compassion, some grace? Is it to try to make a little bit more time for you to fill your cup? Whatever that intention is for you this week, think about that here now. Slowly open your eyes. As we inhale, we're going to take our hands up and overhead. Bring the palms together at the top and join and come down through heart center as you exhale. We'll do that again. Inhale. Hands up and overhead. And as we exhale, palms together, down through heart center. We'll do 2 more of those. Inhale. And release. Filling up the body now with breath, with prana, with life. Inhale. And release. We'll take the arms up, head, 1 more time. Inhale. This time we're going to take the right hand down to the floor and allow the left hand to extend up and overhead. Nice side stretch here. Think about the armpit opening up and back so the chest is nice and open. Don't forget to breathe here. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, maybe in the jaw. Can you let the tongue release from the top of the mouth? And continue those nice big deep inhales and extended exhales. We'll inhale here, and on the next exhale, we're going to come up through center and exhale over to the left, right hand extending overhead. Again, thinking about that armpit extending back and a nice stretch through that right side body. Inhale here and exhale. We're going to flow that back and forth now with your own breath. So as we inhale up through center, exhale over to the right. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the right. So moving like a wave with your breath. Your timing might be slightly different than mine, and that's okay. Just go with your own breath here. Inhale. And release. And we'll meet back at center with hands up and overhead. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to take the left hand to the right knee, and the right hand comes down behind the back body. You can either come to the floor, to your pillow, or it can even land just on the low back, almost like you're putting your hands into your back pocket. You inhale here, come up nice and tall, head is tall, and think about twisting at the waist. It's just a small little twist, starting to wake up the spine here. Inhale, don't forget to breathe, and exhale. Take 2 more rounds of your breath here. And on your next inhale, we're going to come back through center, arms up and overhead. Right hand to left knee, left hand comes to the back, your pillow or the floor, whichever is most accessible. Grow tall and think about, again, twisting, not necessarily from the shoulders or the head, but at the waist, allowing the spine to wake up, open up, and warm up here. Nice deep breaths. Big inhale down through the belly. And as you exhale, you let that breath become nice and long. On your next inhale, we'll come up through center. And we're going to take that movement side to side in a wave. So again, over to the right, left hand to right knee, right hand to the floor. And we're going to move with our breath. So inhale, come up through center. Exhale to twist to the left. Inhale up through center. Exhale to the right. We'll take that one more time on the left hand side. Inhale and release to the left. Bring the hands back up through center now. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, and we're just going to come forward. Now, you might come forward and stop kind of about here. If so, you can just place the hands on the thighs. If it's available to you, you can bring the hands down to the floor, and you can extend that out as far as is comfortable for you. You'll feel the stretch in the low back and through the hip for the leg that is either on the front or on the top. You'll feel it a little bit more. We're going to change the legs now in a second so that you feel it on both sides. Don't forget to breathe here, always breathing through all of our movements, connecting our movement and our breath, really moving into our bodies, being here in this moment. As you inhale, you create space, and as you exhale, you might find a little bit of a deeper stretch. On your next inhale, you can begin to walk the hands back to the legs. And as I mentioned, we're going to switch the legs around now. So whichever one was in the front or on top, you're going to change. Inhale, bring hands up and overhead. And then again, hinging forward at the hips, coming into a forward fold. We'll walk the hands further away, a little bit of a more of a stretch through the entire back body. Feeling that also through the hips. Nice big inhale. Relax and release into the exhale. One more time, inhale. And release. As you inhale, you can walk the hands back to the shins and the body comes upright. Removing any props that you might have under your hips now. We're gonna come into all fours. If you have any issues with your knees, you can stay seated here and take the same movement that we're gonna take on the floor, where we bring our chest forward and then round the back. So we're moving into cat-cow. And again, like I said, if you have any problems with your knees and kneeling on all fours, feel free to take this from a seated position or even from a chair. So if you're kneeling here, your hands are directly under the shoulders. The feet, the shoelace part of the feet, are flat on the floor, and the knees are directly under the hips. As we exhale, you're going to drop the belly, bring the head forward, and the tailbone towards the ceiling. As we exhale, round the back, allow the head to drop between the elbows, and tuck the tailbone towards the belly button. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt tailbone towards ceiling and head towards ceiling. And as you exhale, allow head to drop between the elbows. So take this movement with your own breath now, allowing the spine to round up towards the ceiling, and then the belly to drop towards the floor. You can take some of your own movement here as well. If you find that one position just feels really good for the body, you might want to stay there for a moment. Move the hips from side to side. Even shake the head. Release any tension that might be in the neck. We're going to bring the knees wide to the outer edges of the mat. Bring the big toes together. Sit your bum back towards the heels. And then we're going to extend the hands out in front for child's pose. You can stack the hands here if it doesn't feel good on the shoulders, to have the hands out front. And if you need a little bit of bringing the floor up to you, you can place some of your pillows under the chest area. We're just going to come into a child's pose here. So head towards the floor. Think about expanding through the back ribs, almost like you're blowing up a balloon. And as you exhale, allow the ribs and chest to drop into the floor. Inhale, come up through the ribs. And as you exhale, release the chest and ribs into the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. This is a really good pose to open up the hips, stretch out the back. It's a resting pose, so it's a really good one as we go through practice. If you want to take a break, you can come back here. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. As we inhale, we're going to use the hands now and walk them back towards the knees. We're going to come up on our feet and walk the hands back to the feet to come into a standing position. From here, we're just going to bring the feet about hip width apart. Inhale those shoulders up to the ears like we did in the beginning, and we're going to exhale them back and down the back and open up the hands, palms facing forward for mountain pose. Think about being tall and strong here, engaging through the core, through the leg muscles. Shoulders are down and back. When we inhale, bring the hands up and overhead. We're going to clasp the fingers now. Your fingers pointed towards the ceiling like Charlie's Angel guns. Think about dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, grow up tall through the waist. And as we exhale, we're going to come over to the right for crescent moon. So again, think about that left armpit, opening up and back, and pulling up through the arms. So it's an active pose right from the feet, grounded into the floor, strength up through the core and middle of the body with a nice side bend. Don't forget to breathe here. And exhale. On our next inhale, we'll meet back up at center. Change the grip of the hands so the different fingers are in the front. It's going to feel a little awkward at first. Inhale, grow tall, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, coming over to the left. Notice if you're gripping, maybe through the jaw, maybe the shoulders are up towards the ears. Can you release them down? Use the breath to soften the body. Exhale, inhale back up through center and release the arms. Inhale, hands up and overhead. As we exhale, we're going to dive forward with the hips, hinging at the hips. You can either come to the thighs, you can come down to the calves, or if it's available, you can allow the body to hang and dangle in forward fold. So just finding, again, thighs, calves, or towards the floor for forward fold. Let the arms be heavy wherever they are, allowing the shoulders to fall out of the sockets. Head is heavy. You can sway a little bit back and forth, finding some movement. Forward folds are a really great way to release tension, relax. I do them multiple times through the day, really allowing those hamstrings and low back to stretch out, especially if you're either on your feet all day or sitting all day. I'm going to inhale, come up halfway, flat back, looking forward. Exhale to fold. And then we're going to inhale, bring hands out to the sides, and we're going to come back up through center. Inhale, exhale, hands come back down through heart center. And release hands to the side. We're going to do that a couple of times, moving with the breath. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, diving forward, hinging at the hips. Release the arms. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, hands up. And overhead to finally exhale. Hands through heart center. Release the hands. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand. And exhale back to heart center. We'll do that 2 more times with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, hands out to the sides, up and overhead. And exhale through heart center. We'll do 1 more. Make this your biggest yet. Nice big inhale. Gather up all that air. Exhale, sigh it out as you fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release into the fold. Inhale, hands out to the side. And exhale, hands through heart center. We're just going to take a moment here, keeping the hands at heart center, and close the eyes here. Take a moment here now to notice your breath again. Has it changed since the beginning of the practice? Maybe it's the same. Just notice. Notice if there's any differences. What are the similarities? Where does the breath land in the body now? Okay, I'm going to blink the eyes open. We're going to take the left foot and we're going to bring that up towards the top of our mat. So it's right at the center of our mat. We're going to step the right foot back about maybe 2 to 3 feet. The front of the left heel is aligned with the arch of the right foot. So they are perpendicular to one another. So this is warrior 2. We're going to bend into the left knee, tracking that knee over the pinky. So opening up the thigh to the left. We're going to inhale, bring the hands up, extend it out, and the gaze is out over the left middle finger. Back leg is nice and straight, front leg is slightly bent. Lots of strength here in the legs. We're going to flip that front left palm, and we're going to, as we inhale, we're going to float the right hand to the right leg for peaceful warrior. As we exhale, we're going to bring the left elbow towards the left knee or thigh, and the right hand comes up and overhead. Again, as we inhale, we're going to float back up through center, right hand to right thigh, left hand back up and overhead, and inhale, moving forward. So you can move this now again, similar to the beginning of the practice with your own breath. So we're going to inhale, floating up and back. And as we exhale, floating forward, right hand comes up and overhead. Do 2 more of these with your own breath. And 1 more. Inhale just to come back up through center. Straighten that left leg. We're going to bring the feet forward. Hands come to hips. We're going to inhale, grow tall up through the waist. As we exhale, we're hinging at the hips and coming forward into a wide leg forward fold. So again, the hands can come to the thighs, the calves, or perhaps drop to the floor. Wherever you are, allow the head to be heavy and the shoulders to relax. So think about the shoulders dropping forward, the head dropping forward. Nice deep breaths here. Big long inhale. Longer extended exhale. Let the head be heavy. Inhale here. Mobilize your core. Place the hands on the hips and slowly come back up through center. We're going to turn the right foot now forward on the mat. The back left foot, again, the arch of the back left foot is aligned with the heel of the right foot. Slight bend into that right leg, opening up the knee out towards the toe. And as we inhale, raise the arms out with the gaze out over the right middle finger for warrior 2. Nice strong warriors here. These strengthening standing postures are reminders to be both soft through the shoulders, through the face, through most of the body, while still gathering strength and stability through the lower body and the core. So that mix of strength and softness that's often required in our day-to-day. We're gonna inhale, bring the right hand back, left hand to left thigh. As we exhale, right hand and elbow comes forward to right thigh or knee, left hand up and overhead. And again, we're gonna dance our warrior back and forth. So inhale. And exhale to come forward. If you prefer stillness here, you can stay in your warrior two, or you can pick either the back stretch version of your peaceful warrior, or you can come into the overhead stretch variation here. If you're moving with your breath, inhale as you rise and exhale as we move forward. We'll do two more with your own breath here. And one more. And release. Inhale to come back up through center. Take a pause here, warrior two. Release the hands, bring them to the waist, and step that foot forward. We're gonna bring the toes towards the top outer edges of the mat. So the feet are sort of just on a 45-degree angle. Hands are on the hips, and we're gonna come into a goddess pose here. We're gonna drop down through the pelvis, strength through the legs, and bring the hands out into cactus arms. Lots of energy through the tips of the fingers. Chest is open, bring the shoulder blades together. We won't stay here too long, the thighs might start to be burning already. Don't forget to breathe, breath finding softness. One more inhale and exhale to release. You step the feet together. And bring the feet together now. Just gonna move my mat. Just bring your feet together now, about hip width apart. We're gonna move into a balanced pose. You might be able to hear I have a little bit of a cold and a little bit of stuff going on my ears, so hopefully I'm able to balance today. So I've been a little bit off with a cold for about a week. It seems like it's starting to pass. Let me inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears and release down the back. We're gonna ground down through the left foot now, really thinking about the toes connecting with the floor, with the earth, the heel, the middle of the foot. Think about turning on the thigh, lifting the knee, engaging up through the glute and the low back and through the core. Hands are on the hips. We're gonna take that right leg and we're just gonna turn it out to the side. So this is sort of variation number one of tree. The toes remain on the floor and the heel is on, the right heel is on the left ankle. So you can stay here. If you like, you can bring the right foot to the inside of the left calf, not on the knee, just below, or you can bring the foot right up into the groin. Find a focal point somewhere in front of you, something that's not moving, to maintain your balance, and don't forget to breathe. You can inhale and bring the hands up and overhead to express your tree, or you can bring them to heart center or keep them on your hips. It's your choice. Again, nice deep breaths here. Inhale And exhale. One more time, inhale. If the hands are raised, bring them back to the hip. Bring the right knee forward and slowly release the right leg. You can shake out the left leg, and we'll take that now over on the other side. So we're grounding down now through the right foot, really feeling all 5 toes, the toe mounds, the heel grounded, lots of energy up through the leg, and then finding your variation of tree, whether it's with your toes remaining on the floor for some additional stability, foot to calf or foot to groin. Find your expression of tree today. Again, you can release the arms. Notice if you're holding tension in the shoulders, let them drop. Ensure the tongue is away from the roof of the mouth. There's no clenching happening through the jaw. And you're breathing. And just like trees, we may sway, we may fall, but we just get right back up and try again. Nice inhale. Big long exhale. Inhale. And as we exhale, release the arms. Bring the left knee forward and release the foot down to the floor. We'll shake that out. And we're going to come back down the floor. If you have water, now's a good time to maybe grab some. If you are feeling thirsty, you can just take a moment to get a little bit of hydration. And we'll meet when you're ready in a seated position on the floor. You can prop the hips up here again, if you like, sitting either on a bolster or a couple of pillows or even a rolled blanket. And I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to open wide and drop down. So we're going to inhale, bring shoulders up to the ears, release them down. And then we're going to begin to hinge forward at the hips. So we're going to keep the chest nice and tall here. So an active pose here to start. So the back is straight, hinging at the hips. And we're just folding forward. We'll take a couple of breaths here, and then we'll move into a more passive version of this fold. We allow the head to drop and the arms to come down towards the floor, or perhaps even the elbows on the knees, opening up through the groin area a little bit more. Nice big deep inhale, and as we exhale, can you move into that space that the breath creates? So notice as you breathe, body opens and expands, and as you exhale, I think you're moving into that space, that expansion that you've created. So each inhale, creating space, and each exhale, allowing the body to move a little bit deeper. We'll take a couple of rounds of your own breath here. Nice, deep, long inhale. Perhaps sigh the breath out. Inhale. And as we exhale, using the hands, we're going to walk back up through center. We're going to bring the left foot into the inside of the right thigh. The right leg is extended out long. We're going to start with a flex foot, so the toes are moving towards the chest. We're going to inhale the hands up and overhead and turn the torso so that it's facing your right leg. And as we inhale, we grow tall. And as we exhale, we come forward. So again, you might come as far as the thigh, just a small movement through the hip, moving forward. Or perhaps the hand is able to come a bit further onto the calf. And keep that foot flexed. So you'll really feel this through the back of the leg, through the calf, the hamstring. You might feel it through the low right back as well. Keeping the chest up here. We're sort of pulling forward. Remembering to breathe. Finding some ease in the discomfort. So there shouldn't be any pain. If you're feeling any pain, you can back off a little bit, but discomfort is okay. And using the breath, we find some ease in the discomfort, in those uncomfortable moments. We sit with them, we stay with them, we don't run away from them. Inhale here. As you exhale, you allow the shoulders around the head to drop, and then we're going to point the toes. Just changing the flexion of the feet and allowing the upper body to be a little bit more passive here now as we begin to slow things down a little bit, coming towards the end of our practice. Take one more inhale. Exhale to release. And inhale, slowly walk the hands back up the leg and allow the spine to slowly roll. We're going to come and bring the soles of the feet together again. Chest is strong and upright. And we're going to come forward again at the hips as we exhale. You can come right into the passive variation of this pose now, letting the shoulders and arms, head all be heavy. Inhale to create space, and as you exhale, allow the body to fall into that space that you've created. Our breath is truly our superpower. You know, when somebody is anxious or angry or feeling any real big emotion, we instinctively tell them to take a nice big deep breath. Our breath is the one tool that we always have with us, always have accessible to us, and is one of the quickest and easiest ways to bring our state back to one of regulation, to re-regulate our nervous system. Nice big deep inhale, and that longer exhale. Signal our body that we are safe, we are okay, we are in this moment, and right now everything in this moment is okay. Inhale. As we exhale, walk the hands back up, body up through center, and then we'll take the left leg out to the side, the right bottom of the right foot into the inner left thigh, hands inhaled up and overhead, turn the torso to face the left leg, and then fold forward. Again, we're gonna flex that left foot, keep the chest up, and we're hinging forward at the hip. A really active version of this pose here right now. Notice how maybe this side is the same, or maybe it's different than the other side. We often have a lot of inconsistencies and differences on each side of our body, depending on whether we're right-handed or left-handed, which side is more dominant. The way we sit and stand, we often stand with more weight into one hip versus the other. And then when we move into poses like this, we can start to notice some of those differences. Maybe we're a little tighter on one side. Maybe we're able to go deeper on one side. There's no right or wrong or bad or good. Just notice some of those differences. Inhale. As we exhale, point the toes and allow the head to drop, shoulders become heavy. Move into a more passive version of this pose. Again, notice if you're holding and where you're holding tension, and can you bring the breath there? Whether it's in the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. Nice big inhale. Exhale to side out. Inhale. And as we exhale, using the hands, we walk back up the legs, slowly come back up through center. And we're going to bring the feet together one more time. We're going to stay upright this time and just take a moment to focus a little bit on the neck before we move into our last poses and into everybody's favorite. We move into Shavasana, and we'll do a little bit of relaxation before closing out our practice for this evening. So we're going to take the right hand and you're just going to bring it down towards the floor or on your pillow. Allow the hand to be active. So sort of like you're trying to push the floor away from you. As you do that, take your left ear and begin to bring it towards your left shoulder. So nice long stretch here. You can even bring the left hand up, and without straining, you can add a little bit of weight to the head if you require a little bit more stretch. Really think about pushing the floor away with the right hand and that left ear towards the left shoulder. If you're holding onto the ear, you can release that left hand now. We're just going to drop the chin slightly forward, keeping the left ear to the left shoulder, but allowing the head to come forward a little bit. So just moving where we feel that stretch in the neck. And then finally bringing the chest down towards the chin, down towards the sternum. Head is dropped forward. Inhale here and exhale. And on your next inhale, slowly bring the head back up through center. Release the right hand, release the left hand now down towards the floor. Again, pushing the floor almost like you're actively pushing away the floor with that left hand, and allow the right ear to drop to the right shoulder. So this side is always much tighter for me. I can actually usually feel this stretch, not just in my neck, but right down through my left arm and elbow and into my fingers. Always a sign I need to stretch this side just a little bit more. Again, you can bring the right hand up onto the left ear if you want a little bit of additional stretch. Not really pulling, just a little bit of extra weight there. Don't forget to breathe here. On your next exhale, we're just going to release the chin slightly forward, again, keeping the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And still pushing the left floor away with the left hand. And then finally allow the chin to drop down through center. Chin is resting on the sternum. A nice long stretch through the back of the neck. The head is nice and heavy. And then a final version of this, you can bring the hands together, clasp them behind the neck. Allow the elbows to open up, chest opens up, and bring the head down just a little bit more. So again, just adding a little bit of additional weight onto the back of the head, not pushing, not forcing, but just increasing that stretch just a little bit. And inhale, back up through center. And release the arms. Allow the head to Move, rotate side to side. And we're gonna come down onto our mats, onto our backs. And keep the knees bent and the soles of the feet resting on the floor. So allow the shoulders and chest to open up. So think about kind of allowing the shoulder blades to move together underneath the back, which will then open the chest. Allow the arms to open up out to your sides in a T shape. Palms are facing the ceiling if you have enough room. If you don't have enough room, you can bring the hands together in a cactus shape like we did earlier in goddess pose, or you can bring them down by your sides, palms facing up. But if you have the space, take up the space. You deserve to take up the space. We're going to inhale here, bring the feet together, ankles together, and we're going to allow the knees to drop over to the right for a lying twist. The head here can go wherever you like. You can either look out over your right hand for a more passive version of this pose. You can look out over the left hand if that's available to you, or you can keep the head looking straight up at the ceiling. Wherever you are, breathe nice and deep. Really find some ease into this pose. It's our last pose now before we move into our final pose, Shavasana. Nice big long inhale. Make this your biggest exhale yet today. Do that with me one more time. Nice big inhale. And sigh it out. Right, inhale here, bring your knees back up through center. And then allow the knees now to fall over to the left. Again, head can look over the right arm, left arm, or up towards the ceiling. Try each of them out. See what feels best for you. And always choose what feels best for you. Take a few deep breaths here. And take a nice big inhale. We'll sigh it out. Inhale and then release. One more time. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale, the knees back up through center. And you can take a moment here to find any final movement or bring the knees in. Maybe give yourself a nice big hug. You deserve it. And then we're going to find your version of Shavasana. So you can either be on the back body, legs out straight and wide, arms are open wide, palms are up. You can place a pillow or bolster under the knees if you have any issues with the low back. If laying on your back like this is not comfortable, you can curl up on the side or even find a seated position if that works best for you. Now is a really good time to take a moment to cover up with a blanket if you have one. You can cover your eyes with either an eye mask or folded towel or face cloth. And then we're going to take a few moments here now to really slow down and settle in. With the eyes closed if that's comfortable for you, or covered, we begin to go inwards. You can begin to soften the breath, letting the breath just breathe and be breathed, not forcing the inhale or exhale, just letting that yoga breath go now. I invite you to bring your awareness now to your right foot. Letting the right foot relax and let go. Your right calf. Allow the calf to become heavy. Release into the ground. Bring your awareness to the right thigh, right hip, right waist, to your right hand. Noticing your thumb, ring finger, pinky, the entire right hand. Allow the right elbow to be heavy, release into the floor, right shoulder, right side of the neck. The entire right body. Allow it to relax. Bring your awareness now to the left foot, to your toes, the bottom of the left foot, your ankle, left calf, knee, your left thigh, heavy and relaxed. Your left hip, left waist, left shoulder, front of the left chest, your heart, heavy and relaxed. Your left hand, pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index and thumb, the right palm, the entire right hand, right forearm, left elbow becomes heavy, left shoulder is heavy, side of the left neck releases and relaxes. Bring your attention to the crown of your head, the space between your eyebrows, to your eyes, allowing the eyes to be heavy in the sockets, the tip of your nose, your cheeks, your ears, your jaw. Release the tongue from the top of the mouth. Allow the lips to part slightly. Your chin. The entire left side of the body. Allow the head to be heavy. entire body to relax and release. If you like, you can stay here for as long as you want. If you'd like to start to close out practice, you can join me by bringing awareness to the tip of your nose, noticing the breath, temperature of the breath on the nose. Begin to slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll the wrists and the ankles. And if you feel like it, you can take a nice big long stretch, hands up overhead, legs long. Take a big deep breath.